In the shadowy realm of espionage where secrets are weapons and trust is a luxury one cannot afford, there emerges a name that echoes through the corridors of history, Philby. This man's life was a labyrinth of deceit, a testament to the lengths one can go to betray his country. Today, we will delve deep into the life of this legendary spy, exploring the events that shaped him and uncovering the shocking truth behind his extraordinary story. So make sure to watch the whole video till the end to find out more about Philby. Also, please subscribe to the channel. But first let's take a look at the thumbnail. The Cambridge Five. They were all friends who spied for the Soviet Union and sold many secrets of the West. Among them was Philby. In this video, we will discuss their betrayal. So without any further ado, let's get started. The man who betrayed the West, Philby's life in espionage. Philby was born in 1912 in a British colony in China. His father worked in banking while his mother was a socialite. Philby was educated in England, and it was there that he developed an interest in communism. While studying at Cambridge University, Philby joined the Communist Party of Great Britain. He believed that communism was the best way to help the working class and that the Soviet Union was a great power that Britain needed to be wary of. After graduating from Cambridge, Philby began working for the British government. It was during World War II that he really made a name for himself. He served in the Special Operations Executive, and it was here that he gained the skills and experience that would later make him famous. After the war, Philby continued to work for the British government. This time he served in the Foreign Office where he was responsible for intelligence matters. It was here that he met Guy Burgess, Donald Maclean and Anthony Blunt. These three men would become known as the Cambridge Five, and they would change the course of history. The Cambridge Five, shadows of betrayal in the Cold War. The Cambridge Five refers to a group of 5 British spies who spied for the Soviet Union during the Cold War. The group consisted of Philby, Guy Burgess, Donald Maclean, Anthony Blunt and John Cairncross. All 5 men were educated at Cambridge University and had been members of the Communist Party of Great Britain. They passed secrets to the Soviet Union about everything from nuclear weapons to the plans of NATO. And because of their efforts, the Soviet Union was able to develop its own nuclear weapons and prevent NATO from invading the Soviet Union. It was only in the 1970s that the full extent of their spying activities was revealed. By this time, all 5 men had fled to the Soviet Union, and their activities became known as the Cambridge Spy Ring. Despite their betrayal, the Cambridge Five remain one of the most infamous groups of spies in history. Their story has been the subject of numerous books and films, and they continue to fascinate people around the world. From MI6 to Moscow, the untold story of Philby. Philby's journey from a respected MI6 agent to a high-ranking member of the KGB is a fascinating story that goes beyond the typical narrative of a spy. One of the key factors that contributed to Philby's decision to defect was his admiration for the Soviet Union and its communist ideology. Philby had been a member of the Communist Party since his student days at Cambridge, and he genuinely believed that the Soviet Union was a great power that could help the working class. He was also attracted to the adventure and excitement of being a spy. He enjoyed the secrecy and intrigue of the intelligence world and the challenge of operating undercover. Philby was also motivated by personal gain. He was aware that his work as a spy would put him in a unique position and allow him to access exclusive information and resources. He also knew that if he was caught, he would be executed. This gave him a sense of danger and excitement that he found thrilling. Ultimately, Philby's decision to defect was a complex one that was influenced by a number of factors. His admiration for the Soviet Union, his love of adventure and his personal gain all played a role in leading him to betray his country. Cold War secrets. How Philby spied for the KGB. Philby's spying for the KGB during the Cold War was nothing short of legendary. He rose to become the 3rd highest-ranking member of the organization and is said to have passed on some of the most sensitive secrets of the British government to the Soviets. But how did he do it? What methods did he use to evade detection and successfully spy for the enemy? One of Philby's main strengths as a spy was his ability to blend in and live a seemingly normal life in both Britain and the Soviet Union. He was able to maintain a low profile and avoid drawing attention to himself, which made it difficult for intelligence agencies to track his activities. Philby also used a variety of techniques to gather intelligence. He was skilled at extracting information from sources and was able to obtain sensitive documents from various government offices. He also used his connections to other spies and intelligence officers to gather information and pass it on to the KGB. Despite his success, Philby was eventually caught, and he fled to Moscow in 1963. There he lived a comfortable life as a celebrity traitor and continued to pass on information to the KGB until his death in 1988. Philby's legacy as a spy remains controversial to this day. Some believe that he was a traitor who betrayed his country for personal gain, while others see him as a victim of his own beliefs, who was ultimately loyal to the Soviet Union. Double life of a spy, the dark legacy of Kim Philby. Kim Philby lived a life of secrets and deception, leaving behind a dark legacy that continues to fascinate people today. Born in China in 1912, Philby was a British intelligence officer who spied for both Britain and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. He was a master of disguise, able to blend in seamlessly to any environment and assume any identity. He was known for his charm and charisma, which allowed him to gain the trust of those around him and extract valuable information. However, beneath this charming exterior lay a cunning and ruthless spy who was willing to do anything to protect his secrets. Philby's betrayal of his country was shocking, and his actions had far-reaching consequences. He was involved in some of the most sensitive operations of the Cold War, and his leaks to the Soviets are believed to have saved many lives. But he was also willing to sacrifice anyone who got in his way. Philby's legacy is a reminder of the lengths to which people will go in the name of espionage and the devastating consequences that can result. The betrayal within, unmasking Kim Philby, the double agent of MI6. During the height of the Cold War, the British intelligence agency MI6 was shocked to discover one of their own had been feeding secrets to the enemy. The culprit was none other than Kim Philby, a highly respected and trusted member of the organization. Philby's betrayal was not only shocking, but also devastating. He had access to some of the most sensitive information and had been involved in some of the most important operations. The fact that he had been working for the Soviets all along was a major blow to the agency. Philby's motives for betraying his country are still unclear, but it is believed that he was motivated by his communist beliefs and personal connections to the Soviet Union. Despite his betrayal, Philby was treated like a hero by the Soviets, and he lived a comfortable life in Moscow until his death in 1988. The discovery of Philby's betrayal led to a major shake-up in MI6 and the intelligence community as a whole. The agency was forced to reevaluate its procedures and tighten security measures to prevent future incidents. Philby's story remains a fascinating one, and his betrayal is still talked about today. The Cambridge Five: How Friendship Turned into Cold War Treachery. The story of the Cambridge Five is a tale of friendship, betrayal and espionage. These five British intellectuals, Kim Philby, Guy Burgess, Donald Maclean, Anthony Blunt and John Cairns Cross, were once close friends who shared a passion for communism and a desire to help the Soviet Union. They met at Cambridge University in the 1930s and quickly formed a tight-knit group. They believed that communism was the answer to the world's problems and that the Soviet Union was a great power that needed to be supported. But as the Cold War heated up, their friendship began to fracture. Philby and Burgess were arrested in 1963 on suspicion of spying for the Soviet Union, and both men fled to Moscow. Maclean had already defected in 1945 and was living in the Soviet Union. Blunt was exposed as a spy in 1967, but was given a noble title by Queen Elizabeth II in order to keep his activities secret. Cairns returned to Britain after being arrested in 1960, but was expelled from the Communist Party and died believing he was a traitor. Their story is a reminder that even the closest of friendships can turn sour in the name of ideology. From gentleman to traitor, the life and lies of Kim Philby. Kim Philby was a British intelligence officer who spied for the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Born in 1912 in China, Philby was educated at Cambridge University where he joined the Communist Party. He became a double agent working for both MI6 and the KGB. Philby was known for his charm and charisma, which he used to deceive those around him. He was involved in some of the most sensitive operations of the Cold War, and his betrayal of Britain to the Soviets was devastating. Philby was eventually caught and fled to Moscow in 1963, where he lived a comfortable life until his death in 1988. His story is a fascinating look into the world of espionage and the lengths to which people will go to protect their secrets. Inside the mind of a spy, Philby's role in the Cold War conspiracy. Kim Philby was a British intelligence officer who spied for the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Philby was born in China in 1912 and educated at Cambridge University. He joined the Communist Party while at Cambridge and became involved in a number of left-wing political organizations. Philby was recruited by the Soviet intelligence service in 1934 and began passing information to them while working for the British government. He was involved in some of the most sensitive operations of the Cold War and is believed to have saved many lives by leaking information about Western plans to the Soviets. Philby was eventually caught and fled to Moscow in 1963, where he lived until his death in 1988. To understand what made Philby tick, we need to look at his upbringing and education. Philby was born in China to British parents who were working for the British colonial government. His father was a banker and his mother was a member of the British elite. Philby was educated at the prestigious boarding school Winchester College and then at Cambridge University. At Cambridge, Philby studied history and became involved in a number of left-wing political organizations. It was here that he became a member of the Communist Party. Kim Philby, the ultimate betrayer and his Soviet secrets revealed. Kim Philby is considered to be the ultimate betrayer as he was a British intelligence officer who spied for the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Philby was born in 1912 in China to British parents and was educated at Cambridge University. He joined the Communist Party of Great Britain while at university and became a double agent working for both MI6 and the KGB. Philby's betrayal of the West was devastating, and he is believed to have passed on some of the most sensitive information to the Soviets. Despite his betrayal, Philby was seen as a hero by the Soviets and was awarded the Order of Lenin, the highest honor in the Soviet Union. Philby's story was kept secret for many years, but it was eventually revealed in the 1970s. Since then, he has been remembered as one of the most infamous spies of the Cold War. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.